Let me show you how to make any lady constantly think about you. I'm going to give you 4 rules, so beware. Any lady will become captivated with you if you adhere to those. Use these guidelines with care, and don't misuse this instruction. Actually, the emotional bond that you were able to establish with her is where the chemistry first manifests itself. It's not necessary to become overly emotional or reveal your deepest desires right away when there is an emotional connection. The time you spent with her is crucial during the attraction phase, since the emotional connection implies you proved to her that you were the guy she wanted. Make this time enjoyable, lighthearted, and noticeable by appearing. So, the focus of this video will be more on how to keep her in your thoughts. Here are 5 rules you can implement to make her think about you non-stop. Don't be predictable. Out of everything, this is the most crucial. You must display an imbalance in order for her to understand that she still needs to work hard to draw you to her. In other words, if you text her good morning or good night all the time, cut back on how often you do it. Watch to see if she begins to do this. Likewise, refrain from answering her SMS too soon. Make her wait eagerly for your name to appear on her phone. Don't make your habits with her turn into a pattern, because if she can predict everything about you, it's going to turn on that siren in her head that's going to scream that you're boring. And you don't want to be seen as boring, especially at this stage. Because if you're boring at this stage, it's not going to do anything to help you progress. So, you have to text her at different times. You have to surprise her with your sudden and spontaneous plans. You have to make sure that you have a great time whenever you're both together and do something out of the ordinary. Point is to make memories. Don't be the same guy she goes out with every year or all follows the same routine. Being unpredictable is the biggest and the most rewarding thing you can do if you want to make sure that your girl is thinking about you on a daily basis, raving to have more of you. Be mysterious. Let her wonder what you are doing. Avoid sharing on Instagram every single thing you do, such as what you're eating, whom you're going out to dinner with, and where you're going to happy hour. Instead, if you use social media, publish less frequently. Being mysterious also entails temporary disappearance. You don't want to vanish for too long, but you do want to vanish for long enough to make her wonder what you are doing. So, if it takes you all day to respond to her morning text, and then later that night you finally do, you might write her something like, "I've had such a busy day. I hope your day was great, and I'm going to head to bed as I've had a hard day as I have a long day tomorrow. Good night. I'll talk to you shortly." Women dig this since it makes it clear that she is not your top priority. Because no woman wants an unstable man. They assume you have a life. That's hot. By being mysterious, you're also keeping her at the edge of her seat, which means you're always going to be in her mind. She's going to constantly think about you, both actively and passively, about where you are, who you are with, what you're doing, and when she will get to talk to you again. You initiate a conversation with her every day. It's only going to keep pushing you toward the friend zone, and it's only going to make her think you don't have anything else to do. An important point to note here is that even if you're a really busy guy, and you're literally having to fight your schedule to take out time for her to talk to her daily and meet her daily, it's not going to help you. You know why? Because girls are just programmed to think in a certain way. You tell her that you're going through so much trouble to take time out for her, it's going to make you sound like a jerk. On the other hand, if you don't tell her, but still battle your schedule to take out time for her every day, she's going to think you don't have anything else to do in your life. And which is why you're talking to her so regularly. The point here is this. Be mysterious. Be irregular. Be unpredictable. Don't give her free attention and validation. She has to earn it. Go off the radar. This rule is to adhere to Rule 2 more than once, not just once. However, some dating coaches may advise you to disappear for a period of 3, 4, or even 5 days. However, let's be honest. If this woman is attractive and has plenty of options, she isn't going to be turned on by this since it just feels fishy. because you are the one who is busy. All you have to do is drop in and leave on your terms. Continue doing this for roughly 3 days. She will question what you are truly doing once you start conversing with her once more. Does he have another girl, for example? Would cross her mind. What is he engaged in so intensely that he won't even consider talking to me? This stands out from what many other males are currently doing. You should keep in mind that being less predictable at this moment will increase her interest to you. In fact, the majority of the time, this female might even ask, "When will I see you again?" This is where you want her to be when you reach out to her once more. Make plans and focus on her. Let me briefly explain what I mean. You want to check in now and then, but over these 3 or 4 days, you want to be less attentive. This means that you want to ignore her messages and texts since you're busy. In this case, making plans comes after being busy is the rule. Just let her know that you've been busy at work when you start talking to her again. But also try to keep the conversation focused on what she's been doing rather than always on you. You don't want to give her a complete response because that would only add to the mystery around you. Once you've done that, make a later appointment with her rather than right away. Why? Because as time goes on, she'll grow eager to see you again. The attraction phase needs that time to succeed. Something along these lines. "Hey, I have some free time on Friday night, but I'm booked the next 2 days. Around 7, would you like to get a drink?" You don't want to end up being that text messaging friend. So I urge all of my clients to do this throughout our training sessions. Ensure that the majority of your SMS messages are short, to the point, and close-ended. You can give her the time she needs to miss you by not being so readily available. This is how you make an impression on her. A woman might not be interested if she doesn't reciprocate any of this. If you're having trouble with the attraction stage and you've had your sights on a particular woman you want right now but aren't sure how to get her, what should you do? Now pay attention to what I've stated. Initiate touch. Touch has a significant impact and power. People are considerably more likely to comply with your request if you touch them when you ask them to do anything for you. Studying touch and persuasion has supported this conclusion. According to one study, a man was considerably more likely to obtain a woman's consent and her phone number if he first requested her permission before softly touching her arm. The outcome of a man asking a lady to dance in a nightclub was the subject of an additional fascinating study. According to the research, women were more likely to agree to a man's request if he lightly touched their arms. The study has significant and widespread impacts. What is it about touch that makes a woman more receptive to commands? The lady was asked to get her phone number or dance in all of these tests in response to the man's request. And she was then asked to complete a survey about how she felt about the experiment. The ladies claimed that their impression of the man who touched them was one of greater confidence, making them more receptive to his requests. You touch her the right way whenever you meet. You're going to ignite that wanting in her that's going to torment her from the insides, making her crave for you physically. So, these are 5 different things you can do to make sure that your girl is thinking about you non-stop. Thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.